Yes, even with branding, when you look at your coaching academy, Atiras, and how successful your company is and your academy and the things that you have done, you have mastered this. And when we look at branding strategies, you have to be consistent because we are our brand, like you pretty much were saying. But the key is consistency. And you have to remain flexible and stay relevant. Even in this fast-changing world of marketing and branding, we have to be consistent, flexible, and relevant. And we have to set standards for our brand as well to help enhance our brand. And so this will help fuel people to come in and want to do business with potential clientele. And so a lot of business tend to put the cart before the horse. But we have to focus on our strategy, our tactics, our techniques, and to have a well-defined, executed branding technique and strategies that we have in place. And some people really do need that. But like you said, we represent our brand. We are our brand. So what you share with us is truly words of wisdom for anybody who is trying to really brand their business and brand themselves as well. And it's truly astonishing. And it's profoundly simple, but simply profound, a way of leaving a lasting impression in the hearts and minds of our target audience. And even, Sarita, what you mentioned about finances and economics, and I want to go back to that, it's truly a bold and brilliant grand strategy of action that can be executed by anyone who is willing and able to develop a personal sense of integrity, economic intelligence, intense work ethics that will allow them to take the wheel of their lives and drive forward towards their own best destiny. There you go.
You could drop the mic after that.
I know, right? Right? Talking about the interview's done. No.
Pretty much done, huh?
Right. And it's so true. Tammy, shares with her audience on this platform. I just love how, she's able to penetrate, some of the things we think that are societal norms, right? Some, and challenge us. She challenges us in our mindset, even spiritually, to come higher on this program. And I just love her for that. And thank you for joining us. And I'm always honored, anytime she brings a guest on, because I'm just always amazed. And so, Sarita, I just love what you're doing, how you are inspiring people to greatness, even with your coaching platform. You're not just taking, you're actually planting seeds for others to take hold of this information and really grow up in business, grow up in their branding, grow up in, who they need to be and leave a legacy, right? And with that inspiration, that you are leaving now, even now you're inspiring people. Even now you're, people who are listening are inspired by the things you're saying and revealing to us today. Who inspires Sarita Pittman? Like who were those role models in your life that you looked up to?
My parents, first of all, and my grandmother. I saw my grandmother early on as a little girl. She was my superhero. She had a fleet of Porsches, a fleet of Cadillacs. She had mansions. Her teeth were all gold, and it wasn't like the gold of today. It was like that old school gold teeth. She had diamonds in her teeth. She had her name written in diamonds in her bottom of her teeth, and she was just such a classy lady. I know that description. It might be hard to picture these days as a classy woman, but she was, and she was known as Lady Diamond. And she didn't have a lot of degrees. She didn't come with all of the accoutrements that you think would accompany a woman of wealth, but she had a gift of speaking. She had a gift of being able to connect with people, had a gift of being able to create her own seat at the table, unwelcome, uninvited many times, and she was able to do that. And that just inspired me. And one thing that also inspired me about her is I saw her achieve and attain a massive amount of wealth. But when she died many years ago, she had none of that left. And I remember growing up saying, God, whenever I get wealthy, not only do I want to be able to get the wealth, I want to be able to keep the wealth and teach other people how to educate themselves so they can leave it behind or create another stream of income or something for themselves. And we oftentimes look at things in our life and we don't understand it. But everything that we go through prepares us for later. So just seeing my parents' work ethic, never calling in, never having an excuse, just getting the job done. My mom was an entrepreneur. My dad started off at the railroad, CSX at a very young age and reached top supervisory position. So I just saw them always with the definition of work ethic being fleshed out in front of me. You know, we talk about personal branding these days, and we forget about work ethic. So we believe if we brand ourselves, many of the entrepreneurs that are listening, don't brand yourself and then don't have the work ethic to accompany it. Don't brand yourself and then don't have the follow-through, the consistency. You know, you want to get these clients. You want people to talk to you, but are you welcoming? Can they trust you? Can they trust that you're going to follow through and follow up? So that's what I saw growing up. That no matter what came your way, you didn't give up. They were resilient. So hats off to my grandmother, who's no longer with us, but my parents, they personified class, grace, work ethic, and not accepting no. And they refused to allow my sister and my brothers, my siblings, to celebrate mediocrity. It wasn't tolerated. So those are my role models.
Incredible. And those type of individuals of stature that truly should be carved in stone so that the legacy of servant leadership and sacrifice might never be lost to mankind. And those type of individuals, like you mentioned, like your grandmother, a woman of character and courage and conviction that makes her truly an iconic figure of integrity and intelligence that blazes forward into the future, that lights the way for all of us to follow. And even with you, Sarita, you are transforming and educating and inspiring people by your story and your journey. And you are such a ray of sunshine, and we thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel like that. If I'm a ray of sunshine, we living on the beach in Florida right now because this radio line is just full of sunshine today.
Yes, it is. Truly, truly remarkable, the things that you're doing and being a staple in the community as well. Which leads me to the next question. What are the root cause of limited patterns of thought that impact effective entrepreneur and solution-based personal and business outcomes?
Honestly, a lot of it is pride and the lack of exposure. The greater level of success that we're exposed to, we understand, and we really understand what mediocrity is. We understand that there's new levels, but if we are never exposed, if we never get out of our comfort zones, our area codes or zip codes, and we only stay around the people that know us, that celebrate our mediocrity, and never causes us to step out of our comfort zone or learn how to become more articulate or be more well-versed in reading a financial statement. Those kinds of things, we stay where we are. And it's easier for us to stay where we are than admit we have to learn something new. We have to do something new. We have to stretch. That stretching and those growing pains, that's not the pretty side of entrepreneurship. It's okay just to say, hey, this is what I can do. Let me stay here. But then when you talk about positioning your business to receive funding, that means you have to put things in order. Or you want to be taken seriously and going to a larger national platform, an international platform. Not just with your friends, but it requires you to go higher, to go further. And oftentimes the simplest solution is we don't want to pay and we don't want to do the work. So that's it. Many of us have been spoiled by the microwave. You know, I don't know your ages of these beautiful queens on the line with me this morning, but I grew up that the crock pot was our friend. You know, that the slow cooker was our friend, or sometimes you needed to cook something all day long to get it seasoned better. And now the microwave has spoiled many of us that we think that we put our success in, we press a few numbers and get the success out. We market, we put it out there, and that's it. But we don't do the things that causes us to have longevity. So the lack of focus, the inability to have commitment, we lack commitment, we lack the desire to pay, and we definitely hate that growing pain process.
You are so very right, because, and even when we think about fear paralyzes, it immobilizes us. And like you said, we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to meet other people. We have to network with other people, because sometimes our blessings is tied into who we connected to. And there's a quote by Jim Roque. He says, to have more than you got, you have to become more than you are. Success is something you attract by being an attractive person. And so, yes, we have to be able to, even dealing with the negative self-talk, we have to, the different voices that some people are dealing with because of negativity. You have to internalize those type of voices and have that more positive mindset. And this is the reason for the shows, because we emancipating the minds of the people. We changing their mindset. So once they change their mindset, you got to watch the things that you speak out of your mouth and who you align yourself with as well. And there's there's a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King that's really, really such a profound quote. He said, our legacy should be like for the compelling necessity of embracing the fierce urgency of now, for there is no substitute for action. We have to be action-oriented. We have to be proactive. And that's what you have done. You were proactive, but you were cemented in your passion. And you didn't let anybody detour you from what you know that you were called to do. And so you went at it, even though it was put out there. It may not have been making a whole lot of money at that particular time, but you knew what was put into you. And you knew what you were called to do. And it paid off for you. And so you were able to help other people to be able to have that zest for life and to challenge them to go forward in their destiny as well, to reach their best destiny and their greatest potential. So that's truly monumental of what you have done. And you are the lady well builder and a champion of people. Also, you are the founder of Atiras, International Coaching Academy. In addition, you have a vast amount of professional experience in the health and beauty industry. They help you land a place amongst the top 1% of earners in the United States. And I'm aware that you are a committed-minded, professional, performance-driven, extremely energetic woman, producing your own unique work. You have such a compelling vision. What is your compelling vision of how to develop leadership strategies?
I would say that you must be relevant. You said the word relevant earlier, and that's a word that I use a lot. You know, a lot of times we talk over people's heads. We don't understand how to meet people where they are. We want people to come up to our level, or we want someone to take us higher. But you have to be relevant and relatable. And that has worked for me as a leader. I have to learn that everyone did not grow up like me. Culturally we're different. My level of work ethic may be different from theirs, but I had to learn how to meet people where they are. So then I had to build rapport. So rapport building, meeting people where they are, understanding how to live in the land of empathy, not sympathy. Oftentimes leaders are sympathetic, which causes us to be hurt. It causes us to get burned out quickly. And if we aren't careful, we will become an enabler. And that's what I tell a lot of people. I see so many people that are purpose-driven. They're ministers. And I believe and I teach profit from your purpose. And many of us are not profiting at the level that we truly can be profiting because we give everything away, because we become enablers. We have that Messiah complex that we're wanting to save everyone. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm not anymore, but I have been in the past. And for a leader, you must make sure that you're causing people to follow you to a point that they could be going on without you. So as a leader, make sure that you're not keeping a person. Like I tell people all the time, if you're a leader, you should be birthing leaders. You know, if you're a coach, you should be birthing coaches. No matter what you're doing, a seed reproduces after its own kind. So if you are a leader and you have eagles around you, and it's not time to kick anyone out of the nest, quit question and actually check your leadership skills, because that's the kind of leader I am. I want you to be so well equipped that if I left this earth today or tomorrow, you'll be able to fly on your own. I tell people all the time, don't be that leader that clips an eagle's wing. Don't be the leader that breaks an eagle's wing and breaks the leg so they can always be connected to you. Lead, meet people where they are, be empathetic, be relatable, and make sure you are equipping a person to tap into their own power, their own genius. And success is relative. So as a leader, you must accept people's definition for success. You must accept people's definition of excellence, and you must celebrate that with them. And then move on to the people that if you need a higher level of success or a higher level of work ethic, deal with those people in that realm. But don't expect the person that does not have the capacity to serve at the level that you're requesting to do it. You will do more harm than good as a leader. So I tell people all the time, that's what I always recommend, and that's what I teach in our classes. Be an empathetic person. Be a leader, a person that listens. a person that meets people where they are and celebrate them at whatever level they're on.
That is